Day in the life of Nick B. It is 4:15 in the morning, and I've already been up for an hour. I had some stuff I had to do on the website, and then had to do my hair today. So we're up, we're ready. This is a day in the life of Nick B. Bringing it back, baby. So let's continuing the day in the life of Nick B. Getting ready to do the podcasts and everything that I do pre-show. You can probably hear some Sir Mix-a-Lot in the background, but just saying, it is 20 till 6. That's how early we get here. I gotta go do some podcasts and get the show ready. But continuing a day in the life of Nick B. Damn, I'm tired. Studio getting ready to do Nick B in the morning in about an hour. So be sure that you tune in 7 a.m. Central Time. You can tune in by going to nickbradio.com or the Nick B Radio app, which is free for iOS, Android devices. You can also watch and listen to us on nickbnation.com. We got a bunch of stuff that we're changing with the show over the next few days, next few weeks. Things are updating, things are changing. So yeah, tune in. You can also watch us on all of the socials that they'll allow us to be on. We are at Nick B Mornings on just about all of them. So go watch us, listen to us. 7 a.m. Central Time. We'll see you in about an hour. Y'all be good. Peace. Nick B in the morning. If you got something that you want to tell us, you can go to www.nickbnation.com. You got myself, LB, and JR in here with you as we start hour number 3. It is the top of the hour. Actually, it is coming up on 3 minutes past the top of the hour. And if there's anything, again, you ever want to tell us, www.nickbnation.com is where you go. Today's question of the day is a bit of a thinker.
Cactus.
And you need to kind of listen to the wording of it. And it says, what is something that you value over all other things that people think is crazy? So obviously valuing the love of your family, there may be a few people out there that think that's crazy, especially if they've met your family. But, you know, that's not
So
really...
we'll exclude that one.
Yeah, that's not really what the intent behind this question is. At least I don't think so. I think it is like something that just, and I understand that without your family you die too, but I think that's pretty much implied. Most people know that you're going to value your loved ones.
A thing, not a person.
Yeah, like, well, it doesn't necessarily, well, I don't think it is a thing, but it's, what is something? Yeah, so something that you value over other things that people think is crazy. For me, it's honesty, like being true to who you are and what you say. I can't tell you how many times in my life I have heard, don't say that, you'll upset somebody. Oh, don't say that, you'll make waves. Don't say that. No, I want somebody to be that way. Like, I have more respect for somebody when they speak their mind and they don't give any F's about who is hurt by it. Because again, at the end of the day, I'm not responsible for how you feel. I can't control that. This is why certain things are a huge danger to this country, and one of them is talking about hate speech, because who defines what is hateful? It'll never end. Your definition of hate and my definition of hate are two different things. What offends you is not going to offend me. So, and again, I value honesty and people that can stand on their feet and be who they are without any kind of regrets. So, and no looking back. And that is something that people have told me my whole life is crazy. It's crazy to be that way. I've only had one man in my entire life when I told him, hey man, I'm always going to be me. And he was like, you know what? You are always going to be you. And that's refreshing. And it was somebody that I didn't even really have a huge friendship with. I came to be friends with him. And then, you know, he ended up leaving the job where I met him at. And then I don't really talk to him that much. I mean, he's on Facebook, but I don't talk to him that much. He's not that active on Facebook either. He's got, you know, family and all that kind of stuff. But he's the only one out of my damn near 50 years of living that was like, that is refreshing to know that you're always going to be you no matter what. And I'm like, hey, thanks. Finally, somebody. You got anything you value that much, LB?
Well, damn, you went really deep with yours. So I was just gonna say something like my backpacks because I got a little bit of my personality in them.
Okay, but do people think you're crazy for valuing those?
If they walked into my room and saw like 1,000,000 of mine, yeah.
Well, I don't know if people would think that that was crazy, though. Like, that's just because, again, and I don't mean this in any disregarding way. I'm not singling anybody out, but, it's the same thing if you had a collection of purses. That's just something women do. They collect purses, they collect shoes because you never know how you're going to feel and some guys collect purses and shoes. So, I mean, I collect shoes, and again, some shoes I will never wear. I wore them once, and they killed my feet, and it was like, I ain't doing this again. And I got like 3 more pairs of them things. So it's like, So, but I collect a lot of things that I value, like cigars. I just don't hold on to them very often.
Well,
very long.
the fact that you put in what do you value that people think is crazy, I got a long list.
Yeah.
That, and it's like,
I think,
which ones do I want them to know? Which one do I not want them to know?
and again, I'm not trying to put words into the mouth of the person that wrote into us for this, but
We're trying to dissect it.
I think more than anything, they meant like maybe personality. Like what repels you in somebody's personality that you wish they were different is what I'm thinking they meant. Because again, if it repels you, then you have the opposite of valuing it. Like again, I value honesty and I value, people, again, I'll give you a great example. Cher, and you can hear more about this on In the ER with Nick B. The podcast drops at 10 a.m. Central today. Get it wherever podcasts are found. But the Cher said she would never go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She said, I'm never going to go. Even if they offer me $1 million, they can go, what themselves, because she was on a talk show. That's almost a direct quote from her. She is the only artist to have a #1 in 7 decades for 70 years. She's only 77. She's been doing this for 70 years at this point. She said that she changed music with her song Believe. I don't know what she really means by that, but she says she changed the entire industry. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame hasn't given her a nod. Well, now she's going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she said she'd be at the ceremony. She originally said she would never go to the ceremony and that they could go F themselves. And now she's like, I'm going to go there. I hate that. I hate it. If somebody says, yeah, sure, you can buy my radio station, and then they take it away, you're a dick. There's no other way to say it, especially after I've put all the work and money into taking over the radio station, and then you just take it away from me. There's nothing you can say that makes that good because you were not a person of your word. You didn't stand by what you said. Regardless of the reasoning, you're a punk. And I hold no value towards you anymore, and I will be petty as hell and destroy you for the rest of my life. That's what I think is along the lines of what they're talking about. Like, again, mine is somebody that's upstanding, and I think it's because they heard us talking about this the other day on the show when I was talking about how nobody's real anymore. Being real is what gets you canceled nowadays. I'm uncancelable. You can't cancel me because, again, some way, somehow, I will find a way to do this. I'm going to be here whether you like it or not.
You've proven it.
So, and this time I own everything. So there's no asshat that's going to be able to change the locks on me while my crew is getting ready to come in and do the show for them. So, anyway, I digress.
I guess it would be to be fun. I want them to be fun.
Yeah, not a stick in the mud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the hoe that showed up was kind of a stick in the mud.
Yeah.
And I think that's what really turned us. That's what turned us off with her to begin with, and then she just got worse from there. JR, you're awfully quiet. Anything over there?
No.
I whistled.
He doesn't value anything, ladies. Do you hear that? He values nothing.
Well, I mean, he gave us a couple of examples
did, but-
off the break. Off camera. But
I mean, I guess trust.
That's a good one.
Like someone you could count on for your ride or die.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Mhm.
That's a good one. I've lived longer than you. People are going to let you down. I mean, it's just what's going to happen.
They're
It's
human.
people. Yeah. So trust is trust is something I value, but it's not something that people would think I was crazy overvaluing it. But some people may think that that is crazy because of what I just said. Like people are going to let you down. They're going to disappoint you. They're not going to be trustworthy throughout your life. There's going to be several people that aren't trustworthy. So this was a tough one though. This one's a little bit of a head scratcher and a little bit of a and it should have been a little bit more defined. So if you write into us, be as descriptive as possible.
We're like genies. If you want to make a wish, you got to be extremely detailed.
Yeah, because again, we're going everywhere with this. Like originally it was like, what is something that you value over all other things? And it was like, my cigars. And it's like, no, I don't think it means that. I think it means something that you can't live without. And people think it's crazy because you can't live without it. And I'm still like, my cigars. So it's like, it's just one of those
Narrow
things.
it down.
Yeah. And, but at the same time, me standing on my feet and me being who I am and who I've been for my whole life, I think the one thing that I could say that people have always thought is crazy, like, again, I've told you guys on this show numerous times, if the cops pull you over, shut the hell up.
Freedom.
I have been that way since day damn one. I'm not helping you with no investigation. I'm only required by law to answer 2 questions, possibly 3. If I'm behind the wheel of a vehicle, yes, I have to provide you my license. Other than that, I ain't got to give you crap. Just saying. Those are, in freedom, like LB said, those are the things that you won't talk about me going up against authority. I have done that since I was like 3 years old. I remember getting kicked out of K3 over it because one of the teachers was telling me I needed to go up and write a word on the board. Yes, at 3, because I went to a Nazi kind of a school where they were making us write at early ages. That's why my handwriting is crap now, because I started rebelling and didn't want to write. I digress. So she told me to go up and put the letter, I think it was the letter C, up on the board. And I said, I don't want to do that. And she said, but you have to because I told you to. And I'm like, who are you? And she said, I'm the teacher. And you're supposed to be teaching me. You get up there and write it so I see how you write it. Because the way I write it may be different from the way you write it. Go to the principal's office. Okay. I went to the principal's office at 3, people. You're talking 50 years later. Just saying.
I mean,
And
if
that's coursing through me. So when somebody tells me to go get their drinks, it's like,
Well, that's different.
I know, that's why I bite my tongue.
that is very different.
Yeah, and at my job, just as in with this one, like the asshat that changed the locks on us, I could work with him again. I wouldn't want to. It's not going to be my first choice. But again, it's the job. If he somehow weasels his way back in, or we end up crossing paths because of the jobs that we do, then it's not going to be like, hey, you mother. It ain't going to be like that. It's going to be like, no, it's a job. You stay on your end and I'll stay on mine. I will respect you to that degree, and that is it.
Yeah, I only adult when I go to a different job.
Yeah, that adulting is the thing that really sucks, especially since
Really?
you're my kid.
Yeah.
And you've been raised.
Really?
You've been raised around the guy that's like, don't let anybody tell you
37
nothing."
times.
So
37 times.
it is Nick B in the morning. When we come back in about 15 minutes or so, we're going to go over some McDonald's news. So stick around for that. This one's kind of interesting. So you may want to stick around for that. Again, that's in about 15 minutes or so, around the 30-ish hour part of the hour. I don't know. It is Nick B in the morning, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. So stick around for that.